Uh, I gotta ask you, as a psychologist, Sonny's been in the news again today for a blood clot issue. You mentioned about drugs and alcohol being a contributor in your line of work, with a lot of people that you deal with. Unfortunately, her story is one of the saddest stories because a lot of us saw this coming. I called it that she was going to kill someone years
Hmm.
before she did it. What are your thoughts on her?
No, I agree 100%. And her personality was one that she felt that she could get away with anything. I met her one time, and that was we were doing a one of those wrestle cons somewhere. And I don't. It was the first one I did, and we went around to a couple of different companies or stores that were selling wrestling figures and did some signings there. And she was there, and she was always very nice to the fans. But when you try to talk with her behind the scenes, she had some real issues and was really stuck on herself. And that's what you tend to see a lot of times with people with alcohol issues or issues like that. She was a very much a narcissist. And no matter how much you talk to her or send her to, if you send her to treatment or even getting locked up, she thought it would never happen to her again. So you're right. I mean, you saw it coming, you predicted it, and unfortunately, it happened. And the sad thing is, she ended up killing somebody else instead of herself. Not that I want to see her die, but that's how it is in most cases. The person that's the innocent victim on the other end ends up being killed, and the perpetrator, walks away unhurt.
And the worst part about it is with people like Sonny, and I'll say it because I hope someone helps him. Justin Credible is another one that,
Yeah,
that has ongoing issues. They have WWE treatment covered, which a lot of average people can't spend tens of thousands a month to go to rehab.
it's really about behavior, and it's really about you accepting the fact that you have an issue. But like I said, with heart disease, if the doctor gives you medication to take and you don't take it, you have a heart attack. It's on you. And the same issue happens with people like Sonny. If she went to treatment, they can talk to her blue in the face. If she doesn't use the tools they give her, they're going to go right back out in the street and relapse again.
And that just reminds me, of course, of Ric Flair, who has been in treatment. I heard him say he drank like 60 drinks before treatment and left treatment and bought a six pack and went right to the bar. And then we saw that video that came out last week. What do you think? I mean, Flair might not care at this point. He just might want to continue this until he dies. What do you think it would take for someone like Ric Flair to stop drinking? Is it possible at all?
No,
Or
I don't think so. He's going to end up dying. And again, given his age and the issues he has, yeah, it's going to kill him. But to think that somebody, and this is the kind of, you ask yourself, what kind of thinking does he have? Knowing what he was at one point and how he was looked up to by people. And I know you said he was your role model. He was somebody you followed. And again, I was impressed with Ric Flair as a kid. I didn't see a lot of NWA matches because I was in the Pennsylvania area. But when I did, he did impress me, and I did enjoy watching him. And unfortunately, for him now to go out there and brag about the drinking and to be pushing marijuana and to be the things he's doing, it's not something that I think uh, someone like Ric Flair as the next champion. I don't think that would be the legacy you want. But apparently, he just doesn't care. Like you said, he's doing what he wants to do, and that's the bottom line.
and where I looked up to him too was all the girls. I mean, this guy's had 5 wives, but you don't realize actually the consequences of when you aren't faithful and how it hurts everybody and how it can actually end up destroying your life too. And obviously that might be one of the reasons why he drinks, to probably forget about some of the issues that he probably still has to deal with, such as the death of his son, who also had a terrible
Well,
addiction problem.
yeah, he was. I mean, he had an issue long before that happened. And again, you got to ask yourself, why did he have 5 wives? Was his behavior that made those marriages break up? When you tend to see somebody who's had issues lifelong, they're also usually an accompanying mental health issue with them. I think Rick does have some mental health issues.